Sonny Houston just got exposed for crying after crying racism while caught living in a white neighborhood. So yeah, all these ladies on the View are full of shit, screaming full of shit. But let's get to this, shall we?
Woman back on the screen. This is Swoopy, but Sonny finna talk in a minute and say the stupidest thing ever. I want to play the whole context, so we'll play it all together. Let's go with clip 9. I think does it all right. Okay, roll it.
A new Netflix documentary called The Perfect Neighbor examines a crime that we talked about here several years ago on The View. We spoke with the mother and son of A.J. Owens, who was shot and killed by a neighbor with a history of harassing neighborhood kids. It was a killing that put the stand your ground laws under the microscope. Take a look.
911, what is the address of the emergency?
Several kids out there right now are screaming, yelling.
She thinks we're trying to steal her truck.
You even know how to drive?
It clearly says no trespassing, but I always want them to go.
There doesn't need to be a call for service every time a kid's playing in the yard.
She's always messing with people's kids.
Shirts off, ass. 1 minute.
You know, what I found really heart-wrenching is that there was black mother whose kids were constantly targeted by this white woman. This was a racial bias crime.
Oh, here we go again. Yeah, I play the race card, don't we? Sonny, you're a fucking granddaughter to a fucking civil rights slave owner, okay? So you should not be saying nothing about a race card. You're the great-great-granddaughter of a fucking slave owner, Sonny. So shut your damn mouth about slave shit or racism when you're the damn product of a fucking slave owner. Back to the video.
Wait, I wanted to ask you something. Do you think that if those kids were white, she wouldn't have been so...
It was mixed kids. The kids in the neighborhood were all different.
Because I found her to be
Look at her.
racist.
She's racist, but
Yeah.
she had a particular problem with these black kids.
Yes, and she used the N-word according to the
Yes,
cops.
she did, to the kids. And so for me, what was interesting was this mother, young mother, AJ, went to the door so that she could speak to her neighbor and say, this is my child. He belongs to someone.
get the iPad.
He is loved, and get his iPad back.
Yeah.
And she shot her through the door in front of her son. As a mother of black children, I know that black boys are not given the presumption
It's your
of
brother
innocence
racism.
and the presumption of youth. She's calling the police and saying they're trying to steal her car, and they're 11 years old. They don't know how to drive. And so for me, what was interesting was I have had to be in the position where I have gone to my local police department because I know my son is going to be training for the Junior Olympics, running around the neighborhood in an all-white neighborhood, and I have brought him to the police and said, he belongs to me. This is my son. Do not harass him. Do not stop him. So she was doing what so many black mothers do, and she was killed for protecting.
I got to look into this. Okay, I got to look into this. Well, first of all, Sonny Hostin's an idiot. Because I bet this lady was crazy to everybody kids. Just so happened to be black kids in the neighborhood too. Because the girl just said on the show she was crazy to everybody kids. There was mixed kids, black kids. That woman is a lunatic. She's a Karen, okay? But then she just was knocking on the door to get her iPad back. You think this woman was just going, Miss Sally, can I get my son's iPad back? I bet that woman up there, boom, boom, boom. You better open it. You mess with my kids, I'll kill you. I bet you she was saying it. And I'm not justifying the shooting. I hope the woman went to prison if she shot this woman for no reason. But why are you trying to say this is a race thing? So if you want to participate, get you one of these shirts or one of these merch items, and your purchase will go towards the Kirk family. A lot of people say, well, they already rich. I'm pretty sure Charlie Kirk was a multimillionaire. But one thing that you guys don't realize is that once you are done with your life and you can't bring in income anymore, that's detrimental to a person's family. Charlie Kirk had a show that was tremendously successful. It's a dog-eat-dog world. They're not finna keep his show going. They're gonna cut his show after probably another week or so, and they're gonna put somebody else in that spot. You're talking millions of dollars coming into his family that's no longer there. Unrealized gains. Charlie Kirk probably would have wrote 40 more books. Charlie Kirk should have lived another 50 years. And his children and his wife are not gonna have that unrealized gain from Charlie Kirk's legacy moving forward. So this is a contributing option for us that love him, that really love him, and that care about his family. This is a way that you can do it. Go to tatumstore.com, tatumstore.com. I want to know, we got to look into this just a little bit. Because I want to know what happened in that situation specifically. Because Sonny Holston trying to make it about race, and I want to know have a deeper understanding of this. I guess it turned out to be a documentary, and I can put it on my life that the documentary is biased, and it was all about race. I want to know what actually happened. I want to know what she was really charged with. I want to know if they went to court. I want to know more of it, because they be making stuff like the Central Park 5 documentary, completely a lie. Like 80% of it was a lie. I know what really happened in the documentary, and they have in Central Park 5, they actually have the interviews and interrogations online. And in the documentary, they made them out to be little bitty kids. And they made it out to be this coercive interview. And the interviews are online on YouTube. And then you watch the interview, and the kids are way bigger. They're bigger kids. They got them as little bitty kids. It's crazy how they lie about in these documentaries. So I can't really rely on a documentary. But while I'm looking this up, Sonny Holston obviously wants this stuff to be about race. Obviously wants it to be about race. And then let me add this into it. Ma'am, why do you live in a white neighborhood? You know, y'all know. Why do you live in a white neighborhood if white people are so racist against your kids? Let's explain that to me. There's no presumption of innocence, as if white people are barbaric cavemen and they can't understand the value and dignity in another human being. That's what you're saying. You're saying inherently, if you live in a white neighborhood, that your kids are not safe because white people are so deranged in a multi-million-dollar house neighborhood that they can't determine an N-word versus a black kid jogging training for the Olympics. You know, like this is what bothers me about stew heads. White people aren't that stupid. They see a kid training, he's athletic, he has jogging clothes on, he's training for the Olympics, he probably got an Olympic shirt on. The white people are smart enough to say, that kid is training for the Olympics. Versus the dude running down the street with his pants sagging with a gun in his hand. They think, white people can't tell that those two are different people. And then, Sonny, you know how stupid you gotta be for you to say that young black boys don't get the presumption of innocence by white folks, yet you don't presume the innocence of black people. That's why you don't live around them. That's why you live in a white neighborhood, because you don't even believe young black men are not robbing and killing and stealing and thugging. You don't believe that. Therefore, you move your family to where the white people live. And you're still being and complaining about them. Police officers know the difference between an educated, normal black person. You ain't even got to be educated. You ain't trying to kill nobody. A cop knows that person versus a thug. You know why? Because we deal with them every single day. We know who the thugs are in the community. We know who's going to work and who's going to sell dope. It's not that hard. But she put her kids up in the all white neighborhood, go to all white schools, married. Mm-hmm. She ain't married to a white man, but if she didn't have a brother there, she probably want to marry a white man, just like the rest of them. And then just talk so poorly about all the white people. And then wonder how white people that's your neighbors think about you. They like, bro, we just minding our business, and your son jogs every morning, and we say hello to him, and he say hello back. And you out here acting like you're the neighborhood you live in and indicting all these white folks. Man, let me tell y'all something. I have lived around nothing but white people since I've lived in Arizona. And I haven't had a single issue with not one white person in not one white community that I've lived in. And I've been the only in these communities. I would assume that one white person would call the cops or something. I live in a white neighborhood now, full of successful white people. Man, my neighbor's cool. I know the neighbor to the right, to the left, to the front, to the back. We out there smoking cigars and everybody having a good time. Because racism is poor people stuff.
No, Sonny likes playing the race card to try to start a riot. Just like if you call Charlie Kirk all these damn names, and look what happened. They stirring up shit. It's plain and simple. Sonny is a stupid bitch. Don't know what she's doing. She's maybe spreading her legs getting... I'm surprised if you've been on this long. I think she spread her legs for the manager to fuck her. Because she's ignorant. She shows how ignorant she is. She wants to use race car, but when she don't like it, knowing about her family history tree, she is the great-great-great-granddaughter of one of the biggest slave owners back then. I think he owned 150,000 to 1,500 slaves in 1 or 2 years or so, and they all went missing. He had multiple partners, sex with multiple female slaves, and that's how Sonny came to be today. She is the great-great-great-great-great-granddaughter of that slave owner. Her whole family had slaves of their own. Her net worth is worth, what, $60 million? But she's talking about reparations. Why don't you give every single slave, descendant of the slave that you family had, money? Or go out there and do something for the community. But no, here you want to bash the white people. You want to act like everybody's racist towards you, when it boils down to it, you are the racist bitch. You full of hate. You full of shit. You decrepit. You ugly. You sorry. You uneducated. And you just plain racism. You look in the mirror and you hate what you see. So you want to splurge that hate onto the white community. Everybody know you full of shit. You say you're going to leave the United States? Please leave. Don't promise. Please fucking leave the United States if you don't like it. Go to Africa. Okay? Go take your sorry ass to Africa. Spend there for a day and see how fucked up it is. There's 700,000 African slaves still enslaved by Africans. Spend that one day there and see how fucking much you want to come back to America. See how much being where our white people are. When you get a taste of how cruel it is over in Africa. Shit. Good night.